All right, we got Andrew under the car, taking out the bolt for the lower fender here. Take all those out, and we should be able to pull the whole entire bumper assembly out.
You're just angry today, man. I don't know what your problem is.
That's messed up, man. Oh, hey, Zach's got the Foxcast shirt on today, though. He's representing. Foxcast, you're gonna have to send me a shirt, man. I'll send you some PayPal. You're just gonna have to get me a shirt. I'm the only one that don't have one. Yeah. Look at him jumping. Y'all see that shit? Nobody step on you. Just get the bolt out. Jesus. What we're gonna do is leave the valve cover off on this side, and we're just gonna put this motor in bare bones, essentially. That way we'll be able to get to everything around it. So that's the plan right now. We'll replace everything, or we'll transfer everything over from that car into this car here pretty soon. But there's one thing we forgot to clean.
Intake thumbs up for the fogger.
Yeah, so this has to be cleaned. Like, everybody's trying to like steer clear of this. Nobody wants to clean this tonight, but this is gonna have to be cleaned tonight. It's not gonna take too long. We're gonna get this engine up in the air, go ahead and replace the oil pump and oil pan gasket, and then we'll get to this. I've never pulled everything off as one, so I don't really know what to expect. We're gonna find out though here real soon. So right here on the front of the car, this is really tight. I mean, you have to bow the fenders out around it. So I think I'm just gonna take the old Sawzall and a dust mask, because you're gonna need it, and cut this shit off right here. That way we don't have to bow the fenders out as much, and hopefully not cause any issues. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and pass the camera off to Zach, and we're gonna try to get this thing up in the air, take the oil pan off, change the oil pump out, and set her in the car. Like I said, that's all that's gonna happen tonight. We're not doing any exhaust. We're not doing anything else. Not hooking anything up, because there's a ton of shit that has got to be put back in this thing. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Game over.
If we can Photoshop out these chains, we can act like you're really strong, Andrew.
You want to Photoshop out the chain?
Well, I'll just take a little bit of... Yeah.
Yeah. Break it off, break it off. I just wanna see you take it off. T-Swift, that shit, yeah, shake it off. Are we gonna take a trip? Taking off, oh yeah. Lay you down. I just wanna be your body now. Show life's too short, I'm from out of town, so we better get to work, yeah, working out. I get blacked out too easy. Ever since I was 16, wait, ever since I was 15. Oh shit, maybe sometime in between. I just wanna create some memories before I die this century. Fuck 9 to 5 to the enemy. Yo, do you
All right, guys, it is that time. We're all excited. Andrew, you can tell by the look on his face, he is ecstatic.
I'm not tired at all.
He's not tired. Zach is not tired. Nobody's tired. We're going to go ahead and get this engine over in the car. So, just to recap, because everybody's going to ask, we are still using the AOD. We replaced one head gasket, cost $70. We bought a $30 high volume oil pump for the car, and yes, I'm aware that nobody really runs those anymore, but that's all they had, so that's what we're putting in it, guys. We're going to make do with what we got. So all we're going to do is get this thing over in here, get it bolted up, and then slide the front end back on it for the night, and that's it. So hopefully this won't take too long. It's going to take all three of us to do this, so I'm just going to set the camera up. We're not going to do a time lapse necessarily. Well, you know what? We will. Just do a time lapse, and hopefully this goes smoothly. It's going to be a lot of up and down. We're going to have to jack the car up and all that once we get the engine over in it, but cross your fingers, guys. Here we go. Officially somewhat on the ground. There's still a few things under here that we have to do. So the fuel lines have been cut, and also under here they have basically cut the lines and just looped them back on top of each other for the power steering rack. So we're just gonna you know, undo all those, put the new lines back on it, and be good to go. It's just easier without the fenders on. I mean, it's not a necessity. Well, I'll say this. We're going to try to move the car. We're going to try to clean the spot out and move the car as far over this way as we can. And then we're going to put the fenders and all over here. So if that doesn't work out and we don't feel like that's safe, that shit's going to get scratched up, then we'll just go ahead and slide them back on the car. We'll just have to work around them. All in all, it went pretty good. We had a couple hiccups. This stupid Harbor Freight lift, if you bump it, it goes down. And I bumped it, and yeah, and it went down. Like if you try to pull the handle out of the damn thing, it gets stuck. So you're bound to turn it one way or the other. And anyways, a mess. Anyway, here we are, guys. This is it. It is in here. We have a good engine. We know it runs good. This is the home stretch for me. This is easy. This is just little work where you come out here and you tinker around and you clean on things, and we can take our time with it. So we did scratch a few things up, no doubt, but that was bound to happen. I don't care one bit about that. We'll touch that up. I'll just probably come in and spray from here all the way back around, clear coat that. We'll be good. So hopefully, if LMR will get the wheels back in stock soon, we'll have the wheels on this thing and we'll be putting it back together. So I'm excited about it. I think everybody's going to be excited about the wheels and really see how this thing starts coming together.
With the car sitting low and the wheels kind of look, what do you think is that? For like a Honda Civic.
I think the wheels need to look like that fan over there.
Like that fan? Hey, maybe give you guys a little sneak preview here. Woo, 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 look at that. We'll pick back up when we actually start turning some more wrenches. It is officially the next day. So this is what we're looking at. We got the engine in the car, as you can see, and I'm working on getting the GT40 intake all cleaned up. So right now it's just sitting up there. It's got the stock lower on it. So the GT40 intake is over there. So it's getting cleaned up, getting ready for paint. And so is this. So this has been wire brushed and cleaned up. So it's looking pretty good. I think it's going to be all right. And obviously we're going to put the GT40 intake on it. And when we do that, we're going to clean up all of this tubing and everything. So it's going to look good. Now, you see two different valve covers on the car. I think we're going to stick with the 93 Cobra style valve cover over, obviously, the stock. And I've already sprayed these a satin black. They didn't turn out perfect, but they look okay. I think once, you know, the elbow and everything gets in there, it should look all right. So we'll just have to see how that goes. I'll bypass the smog pump. Well, remove the smog pump and bypass it, or either by the idler pulley down there. I'm not sure just yet. But this is where we're at. So nothing's really changed since last night on this car, like I said, other than working on, you know, the intake. So this has been taken down with 4/0 steel wool. I'm not too concerned about the alternator because we will probably do a 3G upgrade on this car. I know, right? It's crazy, guys, but yeah, we're going to actually probably do a 3G upgrade at some point. The air conditioner, the compressor, I've cleaned it up. Looks really good. Everything's been, like I said, rubbed out with 4/0 steel wool. So the whole point of this is to just make this thing look like it was well maintained. I don't want to get into a lot of custom colors or anything like that. Just a well maintained look, guys. That's what we want. We're not looking for that show car status. So I sprayed this valve cover, just the top of it, to show you guys what the color is going to be. It looks like absolute crap, but I think you can see a little bit of the metallic up there. Yeah, so that's gonna look good. It's like a almost like a pewter. All right, I'm gonna take you back here. We're gonna look at the donor car. Don't look at my backyard. This is ridiculous, guys. I've got stuff everywhere. Anyway, I did get the front end off the car today, so I just went ahead and pulled it all off, and so that I could get to everything else. So we will be using these wheel linings right here. So at some point I'm gonna have to take those off and get them on my car. But we don't want to worry about that right now because we've got a lot of other stuff to do. So let's just look at the car real quick. So this is the type of damage that was starting to occur on this car. So this goes back to why I say, you know, be mindful on these things. Don't park them under trees and stuff like that, because this is what happens. Also, just every once in a while, just rinse down in here and make sure your water is running out the fender over there. Do that on both sides, and that way you can make sure that nothing's clogged up and all that. But anyway, also I went ahead and removed the fuel lines because somebody cut the fuel lines on my car. They cut them up here at the nylon piece, which can be replaced. And I am going to replace the nylon hoses on the fuel line, and I'll show you guys how I do that. So we're going to replace those, but in the back of the green car, they cut them also. So it makes no sense to me why they did that, but they cut them off in the back. So all these damn fuel lines have got to be put back on the green car. Problem is, the Calypso Clone has subframe connectors. So that's a whole nother challenge. So we're probably going to have to cut the line and do like a compression fitting on them so that we can feed them through, hook everything up, and then connect them. So yeah, the subframe connectors do pose another problem. So you don't want your fuel lines below your subframe connector, because obviously, I mean, you can hit something and it puts it down too low. So can't do that, guys. It's got to go in between the subframe and the body of the car. So we're gonna have to cut the lines. I mean, that's just all there is to it, but that shouldn't be a problem. We're gonna use some compression fittings, fix all that stuff up, no problem whatsoever. Stay tuned for like a how-to on that at some point. We'll get around to that. Now it's really the fun stuff. Now some of this stuff's aggravating, I'm not even gonna lie to you, but a lot of this is quite fun. You know, it just take your time with it and stuff like that. You just don't feel so pressured, you know. All right, guys, that's gonna be the update for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.